Hi everybody, and thanks for joining me today on Cindy's Certified Recipes. I'm excited today to bring you one of my go-to appetizers that I like to make for my friends and my family, and I call them goat cheese puffs, and it utilizes just easy puff pastry from the freezer. But before we get to that, I would sure appreciate a tap on that subscribe button, and then you can hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upcoming video. Now let's get to these puffs. All right. This is really going to be fun, and it's easy, and it's not going to break the bank, and everyone's going to love these things. And so this is what these sheets look like when they come out of the box. And so you're just going to unroll these, thaw them per what the box tells you to do, and that's just like 40 minutes sitting on your countertop. And just take out the paper like so. And you don't even need to use flour because these things are already pretty well floured, and I'm not going to be rolling them out, so I'm just going to be putting them here on the board. And normally I use a really giant muffin tin when I make these, and this particular muffin tin for this video is a lot smaller, so I'm going to have a little leftover dough this time. That's okay, I'll just put it back, and you're just going to take a pizza cutter and cut it pretty much down the lines they have here. And then make that into thirds, like so. And this is going to be my leftover piece here. So I'll put that back over there. And cut him into thirds. And now what you're doing, I'll just stack those there, get them out of the way, is you're just going to be putting these into, this is a small muffin tin, it's not the big muffins, and you're just going to be placing those down into the muffin tin. You'll be surprised how easy this is. Basically, one sheet of puff pastry makes 9. And normally these boxes have 2 sheets in them. And that's why I will break out my big muffin tin if I have a lot of people here, but not today. It takes up a lot of space. And so I'm just going to use the back of my reamer here as a tamping tool. And I just like to press that down in the center of the pastry because these will puff up quite a bit, and I want to leave enough space there to get my filling in. And you're thinking, wow, well, it kind of looks like, you know, there's a lot of space for that filling, but you'll be surprised when these come out of the oven how puffed up they are. And now I have a little story about this little dish here. My mom gave me this pretty buttered dish, and I was talking to her the other day, and she says, have you used that butter dish yet? And I said, no, Mom, I haven't used your butter dish yet. So I thought today I would use this beautiful butter dish that my mom gave me, but it's not butter, it's goat cheese. And so you're gonna take, this is the hardest part, you guys, is dealing with this goat cheese, is just you're gonna take like a little teaspoon of that goat cheese, and you're just going to put it down in the center of each pastry. And this goat cheese, I let it warm up a little bit, but it's still, you know, it's kind of crumbly. So, you know, an approximate teaspoon into each pastry. Exact amounts aren't important. And while I'm doing this, I have my oven preheating to 375. And this is also great to make if you have people that maybe pop in on you that you weren't expecting, and they kind of stay a while, and you're like, what am I going to make, you know, to give them something nice. This is a good thing to make for that instance also. Put just a little bit more here in that one. And just a little bit more in that one. Okay. So you're basically filling them like that. And then these are going to go in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're puffed and golden. Our puffs are out of the oven, and this is how they look. I like to call them my little blank slates, because at this point, the sky's the limit what you want to put on these. And sometimes it's just like basic pantry staples you've been having floating around, especially if it's a last minute appetizer that you're making. These are still pretty hot. And what I have here is a mango chutney, and I have a fig spread and some pesto and a quince paste and some honey. And so I'll just put a little bit on each one. So you're just gonna, like, this is the chutney, and you're basically just gonna take a little bit and put it on top. You don't want like a huge amount. So I'll do 2 of those. And then this is a nice fig paste. And I'll do a couple of those. And you're just spooning it on top of that goat cheese. Super simple. And then this is a pesto that I like. It's nice and garlicky, and it likes to come apart. So you're just gonna give it a little stir, and you can put a little bit of that on there. And then this is a nice pantry staple I like to keep around called quince paste, if you're not familiar with it. It is made from these lovely guys. This is a quince, and my mom actually grows these in her yard, but this year she had a bad year, so this is the one and only quince I have. And it takes quite a few to make that paste, but I wanted you guys to see what a quince looks like. And it's kind of like a fuzzy apple, but it is quite tart, so it needs a lot of sugar when you bake with it or make it into this paste. And so you're just gonna take a little bit of that, just like all the others, and just put it down on the center. And then another little thing I like to do is just drizzle some with some honey and then top it with a little thyme. So we're just drizzling some of the honey on there. And this honey I got on a trip. We visited Colorado, and we went to a little town called Salida, and they had this very cute honey store there. I've told you about a different honey place, and this is yet a different honey place in Colorado. This is alfalfa honey, and that'd be another fun thing to do, is have like a honey bar so you could taste all the different types of honey. And this alfalfa honey isn't super sweet, and that's what's good for this. You don't want this super sweet honey going on there. And with the honey ones, I like to put just a little bit of thyme, fresh thyme leaves. And so that's all the spreads I have out today for these. So I'll just add maybe a couple more chutney ones to my 2 here left over. But you can see how the sky's the limit. You could even put like smoked salmon on there, or vegetables, or sliced pieces of fresh fruit. I mean, really the sky is the limit to doing these. And I'll do 1 more pesto. Whatever you like to eat. And then I'm gonna, since this pan is still kind of hot, I'm gonna set these over here and then put them on my board. And I didn't grease this pan. They come right out because puff pastry has a lot of its own fat in there. So they come out very easy. And you can serve these hot, let them cool down. If they cool down and you want them warm, you can put them back in the oven at 300 degrees for just a couple of minutes, and they'll warm back up. But you can see what a really, really nice snack slash appetizer this makes. And I can tell you, everybody loves these. You will run out in no time. So that's why I use my big muffin tin and I make a ton of these. There we go. And if you want to really kind of dress it up, you get some few extra sprigs of thyme here, and you just throw some sprigs of thyme down on your board and make it look all fancy. And there are your little goat cheese puffs. So I hope you enjoy that. And thanks for joining me today on Cindy's Certified Recipes. You can't beat easy, quick, delicious, and inexpensive. And as always, if it's time tested, top-notch ingredients, and the talk of the table, it's Cindy Certified.